Yo, people, what's up? Today is the match reaction to last night's game, AFC versus Manchester City. I'm an Arsenal fan. I've been an Arsenal fan like 30 plus years now. And being honest, I just got to say, like, I've watched my club go from being a club that win things, yeah? And man's afraid of man. Big man thing. Man's afraid to come to Highbury back in the day. Man's afraid. Man don't want to come down there. Because they know what it is. It's wins. And man's getting bad up and bullet up on the pitch and that kind of thing. You get what I'm saying to you? And I've now seen my club become a club that just basically make players or buy top players and just sell them. It's the truth of that. Yeah. And then what we do, we've gone from that basically from making players and selling them for big money to buying top players and then not sorting their contract out. And then now our new thing is let's go and buy bare man's rejects that they don't want. I remember this started with like Mikel Silvestre back in the day. Man's buying Mikel Silvestre and I'm like, what happened? What's going on with Mikel Silvestre who man don't want and don't rate? You understand? This list just goes on and on and on how much man we've bought since then that are waste man at another club that man's bringing in to play almost first team for our club. You know what I mean? And the list goes on and on to what we have today, innit? Which is another Chelsea reject. We had one a season or two ago, which was Peter Cech. And you gotta understand something. If a manager like Mourinho is selling you Peter Cech, he's telling you something, bro. Lampard's not even that experienced. Let's be real. Lampard's not even that experienced. And he is willing to tell you from the get-go, I don't want David Luiz in the club. Get rid of him. And here come Arsenal. Yeah, we'll have him. We give you 8.5 mil plus some stupid agent fees. And boom, we'll take him off you. Bear in mind that this guy is a defender who, as we all know, likes to create chances from the back. Hence why you will see Conte, and when he was in PSG and other clubs, they play three at the back. Even Mourinho will tell you. Mourinho was playing that guy in defensive midfield because he didn't rate him as a defender. Once again, it tells you the level of management as well, because these managers are selling him. These managers are playing him in positions that are different types of positions. They don't want him at the back. So when you've got a back two and you're going to be playing a right-footed man on the left centre back, you're only asking for trouble. Because a right-footed man who has to kind of turn to get the ball in his right foot, you're asking for trouble straight away. Because the team, if they've got sense, they're going to keep playing the ball down that channel on his opposite side, innit? You know what I mean? So he's going to be already asking for trouble. Hence why this guy is leaking so many goals in the left centre back. On top of that, he's not even that great, is he? We all know this. We've seen him get hammered by Suarez before. We've seen him get ripped apart for playing for Brazil. He was part of that 7-0 defeat. You've seen him get sent off 3 times this season for Arsenal and concede penalties in 3 crucial games. You know what I mean? Like I said, you've seen Mourinho play him out of centre back into centre midfield. You've seen Conte, Antonio Conte, you can't trust him and had to drop him in a 3-man defence. Keeping it real, even down to Emery, played him in a 3-man centre back. Because the simple fact is, they don't rate him as a centre back, especially as a back two. And if you're going to play him as a back two, he's got to be on the right hand side. You know what I mean? So this is the question that we've all got to be asking, isn't it? Like, I watch beer podcasts. That's what I do. I don't even really watch TV again too tough. I watch beer podcasts. That's mainly what man do, innit? You understand? Shout out to Curtis Shaw, Deluded, Guna, obviously all the AFCV man them. Obviously I watch their team. You understand? I comment on their team, rare to large up to all the man them still. You get me? It's a big thing. Yeah, you man inspired me. Keep it real. But this is something that we've got to be discussing on the platform now. What is the club becoming, fam? Because we've gone from a winning club to a selling club to now we're buying man scraps and we're in ninth position and that kind of thing. So I get what we're saying about Louise. We got Louise, rare. But we bought Louise. I get what we're saying about, you know, not titling, not challenging them. But we bought players like Silvestre. We bought players like these mediocre players. We're loaning players like Cedric Suarez. We're loaning players like, what's that winger? I forgot his name right now off the top of my head. We got last season at Emery. We're the ones doing that. The club's doing that. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So what is the club itself becoming? Do you see what I'm saying to you? Like, you can't expect a manager or a coach or whatever they call it nowadays to come in and just fix something when they ain't got the right players or even half decent players. You know what I mean? Like I'm look at the squad, I look at the whole squad and I say, well boy, I will get rid of a bag of man in the squad. Truth be told, I'll get rid of a bag of man in that squad. Bag of them. I've done my list. It's true, I'm not going to go for the list now. Maybe next video I'll go for the list. But right now I'm telling you, I'll get rid of a bag of them man in that team, bruv, in that squad. I'll get rid of a bag of them. Because I'm looking at even the midfield and I'm saying, bro, like, people might complain or say what they say about players like Matteo Guendouzi, yeah, but he's 20 years old, bro. Or just turned 21, what day? He's a youth, man. And I like that kind of driving that I see him trying to try and do every now and then, try to drive into the mids and drive. I think that's a good thing about it. He's got that. He would develop and he would get better at that. He's a young youth. Torreira can't even seem to keep fit, if you ask me. And then he's got this little homesick thing going on with Italy, like he just wants to fly back over there. So he ain't dedicated to the thing, fam. He's not settled. He's not dedicated. His heart's not fully in it, innit? You get me? Then you got the Joe Willocks of the game. And you got the Granit Xhakas and the rare. Willock is not ready to play. Unless that guy gets at least a half a season games, week in, week out. He's not ready to play for his team. For me, that's my opinion. He's just not ready for it. You know? So, to me, one of the only midfielders I would keep is Guendouzi. Most of them I'll get rid of. Because as much as we complain about the defense, I think the midfield is, from what I'm coming from as an Arsenal fan, from where I'm coming from watching my club, midfield, I'm telling man, for all the youth man, them and all the young fans who don't know, you see our midfield, bruv, our midfield was horrible. That's where man don't want to go for it. Man never used to go for our midfield back in the day. They'd want to put the ball on the wing or over the top. They don't want to go for our midfield club. Man like Patrick, man like, people talk about like Gilberto, yeah, he was certified, but man like, if Patrick missed you in that midfield, if he didn't crunch you or take the ball off you, Petit was behind him and he was taking you out. And the ball as well. And if you got past them man there, obviously you got Keown on the man there to deal with. So it's not a joke thing. You've got to get clapped before you get to that keeper, bro. Do you know what I'm saying to you? You're gonna get something. You're gonna feel something in the thigh or the leg or something. You're gonna feel something. You're gonna go for that midfield again. Remember, I tell you that. You see what I'm saying? But our whole thing changed when we started bringing in this lights. Like, I'm not trying to say that about Cesco's a baller, innit? But when we brought in them kind of smallish kind of players and rare, to me, that whole physicality thing of having a beast in midfield at the back of that was done, blood. You know what I mean? It was done. And for me, from them eras onwards and onwards, we have not changed, bro. We've just got weaker and weaker and to the point where now I look at the midfield and I'm saying, bro, how can I be electing? That's my opinion, don't forget. How can I be electing Guendouzi as, like, to me, one of the main stars in the centre midfield? How can I be electing Guendouzi? I've seen him do things in the last few seasons he's been at the club. How are we going to develop him? If we're going to develop him into the player that I saw who played against Tottenham, that laid that ball off to Aubameyang, and that driving midfielder that I see come off the bench every now and then that runs through, man, and makes, then that's the player. Yeah, I rate him. He's a youth, man. He will develop. You know what I mean? And he's 20, and he's come from another country. And we've got Willock there, who's a young boy as well, who knows the thing, who's grown up in the Arsenal thing. So at the end of the day, To me, I would either put Willock on loan a bit or one of the two. But Guendouzi for me would be my forefront in midfield. I'd be building my midfield with that you in the team. And of course, yeah, you would like to be able to play Torreira if he's committed, and if he's not, then he's got a cut blood. We paid 26 points out of mil for him. Get back a P and make him go about his business, brother. If he's not on the team, you understand? And then to me, yeah, you would like a Thomas Partey, these kind of guys. Bro, it's not even about names. When we bought Patrick Vieira, we bought him for 3 million, bro. For all some of these youth men that don't know the team, we bought him for 3 million from AC Milan, blood. He weren't established. Wenger preed him, meaning was watching him, rare, brought him over, put him in the team. This guy was big, strong. He had it all, bro. Remember, if you go back and do your research and watch Patrick Vieira, that guy wasn't only a captain, he scored goals, he set up man, he bullied off man, he bad up man on the pitch, he bad up his teammates, he captained his teammates, he had it almost everything, bro. He could run with the ball, he could crunch man, he was a proper all-round midfielder. And he had it up here. And then he had Emmanuel Petit, who was also a balanced left footer next to him, and he was right-footed. So the balance is almost right. You mean like it's almost perfect. You mean, so you got Patrick Vieira, you know what I mean? We don't need, I mean, I'm not saying we don't need Partey. Partey would be a good player. You mean, we're all gassed on Partey now because we've seen these little clips and rare. But my argument is this, yeah. He's an established player. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but you're going to have to pay P. That's the reason why. And the way we're moving like Scrooge, you're better off getting a man like I see this shoot Dennis Zakaria. Yeah? Been watching him. You know what I mean? Or I'm not going to call no names furthermore. I'm just going to say, hear the drama. Man for the fine scouts, as we know, we got scouts out there. Man for fine, a nice midfielder central who dominate, you know what I mean, and come in and we can either bill him or he can be half established or established. Come in, play with man like Guendouzi, add an extra attacking midfielder because we need to replace that. Remember, we stopped playing 4-4-2 long time. So when we were playing two man next to each other in the midfield, a balanced left foot and a balanced right footer, those days are now numbered. So we're gonna go with a defensive midfielder. Then we need a midfielder like a man like Guendouzi who will float up and down. So he will come back sometimes, pass it around, keep it moving. He will drive forward, try and chip it. He's got a lot of things in his game, innit? And then you obviously need an attacking midfielder, a man who's just gonna be looking to set up them flanks, man, and the forward. Because we don't play how we used to play. Another thing is what man have to go and do is do their research. You see what you see Man City and them kind of clubs doing, Liverpool and kind of, bro, we were been doing that. We were doing 8-second breaks from our goalkeeper, rolling it out to Ashley Cole, bam, Pires, next minute, top corner. It was like a Ferrari, bro. 8 to 9 seconds, man's in the top bins and everything. We changed this whole style of play, like I said, when Cesc and them kind of man come in, and we're playing 2, 3, 4, 500 passes a game and just about getting a draw. That's the real thing. Just about getting a draw. We're never winning the game. We're just about getting a draw. And we're playing, we ain't dominating the game. We're just passing the ball around. We became so less direct, where before we was direct, we were just going straight for the juggler, bro. Straight for the juggler. Now it's pass. You might have 2 shots in the game, maybe 1 on target. If you're lucky, you might have got the perfect goal you're looking for, so you scored 1. So the game finished off maybe 1-1, or we lost the game. That's what we've been getting used to as fans and accepting. But differently, are we blaming the players that man's bringing in? And saying the players ain't good enough? Who's buying them, bro? When you really think, what is it? I don't know if it's I don't believe it's the coach buying them. Who's bringing in these players? And telling them, yeah, work with them man there. And come on, bro. It's not even like that where a coach can nowadays go and pray a man and say, right, I like them man, the man is going on bad, you know. I remember Wenger used to watch man himself, like go and see a man like Nicolas Anelka in the country, in France and go and pre him and say, yeah, I like this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him directly. I'm gonna bring him. I'm gonna go talk to him, meet his family, all that. Who's doing that? Man just trying to broker deals to just bring man over on loan, and it's the bruv. I can't keep blaming the players because man's bringing the players in. Someone's choosing to let me get Mustafi's people on the phone. Let me buy Mustafi. And even Mustafi, as much as man diss him, he's an out and out defender, blood. But we want him to play this different style of play where he's holding up ball and passing and let Mustafi do what he does, yeah? Because when he does what he does, he gets top stats. If you don't know, he gets top stats. This guy will have the most clearances, the most headers and stuff in Arsenal squad. So let the guy do what he does, which is defend, innit? Don't want to have when he wants to try and bring the ball down like you want him to do and take all these passes and touches and lay it off to bring it down nicely and pass it out the back. No wonder why it's gonna flop. Because it's not about that, blood. So this is what I'm saying. We gotta stop doing all these kind of. If you want a man to play like that, just don't play Mustafi then, for example, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But then you're left with a man like David Luiz. It's the same for Socrates. The season before this season, Socrates was an animal, bro. Me and my brother was running jokes saying, yo, he pops up out behind man and running. He pops up behind strikers and he's just taking the ball, bro. He's on a grease mode thing. All of a sudden, he's just getting like put to a side, like man ain't dealing with him and flinging him in all right back and all them type of. And I'm saying, brother, like Socrates was growing on grease mode, bro. Why is man just dissing out Socrates like that? But again, what is it? Because he can't play the ball from at the back and all this and brother. So then you got to work if you got as a manager, as far as I'm concerned. If you come in as a manager, like Wenger came in, he had Tony Adams in the man there. He went to the man there, yo, big man, hey, what's going on now? You'll have to change up your thing, innit? Everyone, the whole back four. You'll have to change up. Back five, change the whole thing. Man's passing that from the back now, and that's what's going on. You would have seen Tony Adams and the man there looking like they weren't that great. True talk. But true, Wenger allowed the man to do what they do best. They done what they done was best. Simple. And until you buy the players that can play the way how you want them to play and pass the ball and do all these fancy things you want them to do, it's better that you try to not take a man out of his lane and let him stay in his lane where you can play. As long as he's doing the damn thing and he ain't conceding no bag of goals like that because he's clearing the ball out or he's heading it out, whatever he's doing, be satisfied with that until you can buy a man that you can replace him with the way you want him to play ball and that you know how he's confident to play ball. Do you understand? But we're not doing that. We're doing this, blah, let's try and bring through this guy who's not that great in the first place and then get him to try to adapt his game and he's an old boy anyway. That's not going to work, fam. So hence why we're going through so many problems, like for the last probably like what, maybe 10 to 15 years. It's not just the managers we've been having. I can't keep blaming the Emerys and the Artetas and what Wenger was doing and Gazidis. You can't keep, brother, the man them who keep bringing in these man them and who's fucking up the finances, them kind of things, are the people who, to me, are causing the problems.